The majority of individuals in this bull cycle will be duped into maybe selling too soon. The focus of today's video is perhaps a long cycle. Maybe. Now, folks, this graphic says it everything. The bull market is expected to last until 2026. This chart was supposedly made in 1875, guys. I believe in the riddlers. Men, so it's strange that the chart, which is 150 years old, has everything correct, but the next top says it's 2026, which is a year of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all types. I'm not sure if you do, but many individuals in the community were told to wait until this year buy. The red alert. Will either be sold in Q1? That's correct, maybe perhaps Q4, but what if we extend until? At some point in 2026, correct. We should just ride the waves instead of timing the markets because of this, don't we? Although some people are predicting that a recession is imminent if one does occur. It is apparent that they will quickly bring it up again. This is especially true for men, the same as a repetition in 2020. Furthermore, according to Raoul Powell, the majority of cryptocurrency investors will sell much too early in 2025 since they are still suffering from PTSD from the 2021 bull run. He affirmed our hypothesis. Wouldn't it be logical to deceive everyone? It's proper to turn everything upside down, folks, and make things last longer for higher. Let's listen to this. It sounds interesting. Asking those who were in the previous cycle, which was their first cycle, we found that the majority of them had severe PTSD. Since they reflected on the 2017 cycle, the market peaked around tax season in 2017. After that, it sort of corrected and peaked at 2000 before rising again. In 4 months, it increased tenfold. Additionally, you have to make the modification in between. Thus, I also thought, okay, we saw the tax season correction the last time. There was a significant pullback down 50 after the rebound back up. Then it soared and everyone realized that 2017 would be here again. And it wasn't because the business cycle had been accelerated by the enormous amount of liquidity that was beginning to evaporate as the central banks began to remove it. That was the conclusion of that. I believe that many people will sell during tax season in March and then become trapped out because this time when you go on X and you see folks, they are so PTSD afflicted. They will then anticipate an early high, which may occur. According to my research on liquidity, it continues to indicate that it peaks at the end of the year. However, it is contingent upon the state of liquidity. However, I just believe that there are risks if that is the case. Then, in 2026, there's a chance that those who sold out might have made a mistake and left too soon, like I did in 2017. After then, you try to buy it back, but you wind up doing so at a lot higher price, as was the case with me. In the end, I bought back COVID during that crash. Although I sold out at 2,000, I managed to get in a 6,500. Whoa. Interestingly, we claim that XRP does the exact same thing, guys. I told them not to do anything at the price range that I didn't know some people were selling, and I told them not to do anything because what if it continued to rise? I have been hearing a lot of individuals say they are going to sell in Q1 2025, but the market guys typically do the exact opposite of what people anticipate will happen to the market. Except for the reddlers and us, I haven't heard anyone mention 2026 and 2025. It's really fascinating. It meant in a secular setting, I bought into weakness and sold out to strong. The difference between the top and the trough and exponential upswing was as follows. So yes, folks, I do believe we will find out. Due to the fact that I actually tweeted out what I think will happen. All right. I think XRP will rise immediately because we will still be in the double digits if a recession occurs. If the USDT chart dominance drops to around 3% and the VIX drops to about $10 as well, this theory will be confirmed. Yes, that is how I believe we will be able to determine whether a black zone is imminent. We stay bullish until all of that occurs, or at least I do, and if a crash has just occurred, we even purchase more. Yes, thus we will always be on the right side of history regardless of the direction the market takes. Although it's the most amusing issue, I personally think that this is the final bull cycle that will be, quote, regular. Because in my opinion, a new financial system utilizing cryptocurrencies, utility tokens, and subjectively derived coinage will emerge following this cycle. As digital assets become more integrated into the mainstream financial ecosystem, we are seeing chasms being crossed. Correct? Thus, innovators were visionaries in their early years. Now, where are we? Guys, are we already here or are we just now crossing over to the early majority? Correct, although everyone has a different viewpoint, eventually it will be too late. Correct. Here, the innovators' early adopters account for a large portion of the gains. Perhaps even the early majority just prior to the establishment of the new financial system, and the gains subsequently likely decline because the risk is lower because it has already been established. This is the reason they give you a credit for getting gas early. But there is no question that it is dangerous. Not necessary, though, since I have reason to believe that we will be entering a new financial system based on all of the materials we have read and the movies we have watched. After all, there is more evidence than we have seen, right? Therefore, countries will print money to purchase Bitcoin, establishing their strategic Bitcoin reserves, according to Binance founder CZ. We are reaching so much greater heights. Wow, so the CZ guys, the insider or former insider, I'm not sure whether he is still in the know, are essentially claiming that countries all around the world would print their own currency to buy Bitcoin, right? Therefore, they most likely inflate their own currency and use it to purchase Bitcoin. I assume that other people will also pursue Bitcoin if that occurs, because it will have a cascading effect. When one currency dies and the other flourishes, he claims that countries will be building up their Bitcoin reserves. Do you think we'll last much longer and have much larger Bitcoin reserves than people anticipate if all of these things happen, guys? The current opinion is that the bull market will expire this year, at the latest in Q1 or maybe Q4. What happens if you continue? I have never seen somebody anticipate that. Aside from one individual, that's the short version, and a 150-year-old chart. Thus, nation-states are already implementing strategic Bitcoin reserves behind closed doors, according to the Prince of Serbia. It's taking place. And that's how we're going to reach previously unheard of heights, gentlemen. Additionally, Bitcoin must climb. When Bitcoin increases, we can easily see $1 million per Bitcoin. Adoption can take many different forms, such as mining for value storage or a medium exchange. The one that I believe people aren't really interested in is the upcoming El Salvador. El Salvador was an anomaly. I believe there might be a surprise in store for us. I hope so, but we will see at the nation-state level. Adoption mining is always growing and occurring. It's taking place in public and in private, and the next topic of discussion at the moment is a strategic reserve. As a result, I am self-store value, which already occurs behind closed doors. Alternatively, when it begins to occur in the open, it will do so. At that point, you can be certain that the old game theory's ripple effects will begin to gain momentum. However, medium exchange ripple effects are actually what I'm more interested in. That's interesting wording, isn't it? As soon as one nation does it, all the others are essentially compelled to follow suit, or else we risk falling behind. It's like a domino effect. For this reason, Trump are the primary puppets of this new financial system, literally. Why will America, the center of the current financial system, be shilling Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, including those that are also manufactured in America like XRP, which will cause their prices to skyrocket for the entire cryptocurrency sector? I'm absolutely prepared for this year.